Why every small action compounds into massive success is the question that separates empire builders from everyone stuck at the starting line. This isn't motivation. This is mathematics, and the math is brutal. Here's a number that should keep you up tonight. If you improve by just 1% every single day for 1 year, you don't end up 1% better. You end up 37 times better. That's not a typo. 37 times. 3,700% improvement from tiny, almost invisible daily gains. But here's where it gets dark. The same math works in reverse. 1% worse daily for a year, you're left with 0.03 of where you started. You've basically erased yourself. Every single choice you make today is casting a vote for who you become tomorrow. Most people are voting against themselves and don't even know it. They're losing a war they didn't realize they were fighting. The everything counts principle isn't some feel-good philosophy. It's the operating system of every empire ever built. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how to weaponize it. Before we dive deeper, hit like and subscribe so you never miss our videos, and share this with someone who needs to see it. Let me ask you something that might sting. What did you do in the last 24 hours that moved you toward the person you want to become? And what did you do that pulled you further away? Most people can't answer this. They have no idea, and that blindness is exactly why they're losing. Research from Duke University dropped a bomb on everything we thought we knew about behavior. Approximately 40% of everything you do daily isn't a conscious decision. It's automatic. Habits running in the background like software you forgot you installed. And according to a landmark study in the European Journal of Social Psychology, forming a new habit takes an average of 66 days. 66 days of war against your own brain's wiring. 2 months of fighting yourself before the new pattern locks in. But once it does, it becomes your default. The question is whether that default is building you up or tearing you down. Here's what winners understand that losers never figure out. Your life isn't shaped by the big dramatic decisions. It's shaped by the thousands of tiny ones happening on autopilot while you're not paying attention. The battle is won or lost in the margins. Let me tell you about the most dominant transformation in sports history. In 2003, British cycling was a complete joke. In their entire 100-year existence, they'd won exactly 1 Olympic gold medal. 1. A century of mediocrity. Then they brought in a performance director named Dave Brailsford. His strategy? Something he called the aggregation of marginal gains. The philosophy was almost stupidly simple. Find 1% improvements in absolutely everything. They redesigned bike seats for fractionally better comfort, tested different massage gels for slightly faster muscle recovery, hired a surgeon to teach riders proper hand washing to reduce illness, even painted the inside of their equipment truck white so they could spot dust particles that might affect bike performance. Individually, none of these changes mattered. Nobody cares about truck paint color. But together, they created a dynasty that dominated world cycling for over a decade. Now, before I continue, if you're serious about applying compound principles to your finances, I created something specifically for you. The VYBO Wealth Blueprint is a comprehensive system that shows you exactly how to stack marginal gains in your financial life. We're talking about the specific money moves that compound over time, the investment frameworks the wealthy use, and the exact sequence of decisions that separate those who build generational wealth from those who stay stuck. Check the link in the description to get access. Now let's get back to the blueprint. Within 5 years, British cyclists absolutely crushed the 2008 Beijing Olympics, winning 60% of all available gold medals in cycling events. At the 2012 London Olympics, they shattered 9 Olympic records and 7 world records. According to performance data, these weren't genetic freaks. They were ordinary athletes who optimized everything, while their competitors optimized nothing. This principle doesn't just work in athletics. It works everywhere. Your career, your health, your relationships, your bank account. The question is whether you're stacking marginal gains or leaking marginal losses. Most people are hemorrhaging potential they don't even know they have. Let's get specific about what compound decisions actually look like, because most people dramatically underestimate the scale of this game. Research published in the Journal of Consumer Research found that the average person makes approximately 35,000 decisions per day. 35,000. That number should stagger you. Most are trivial. What to wear, what to eat, whether to check your phone one more time, whether to hit snooze or get up. But here's what the data reveals that changes everything. Behavioral economists at Cornell University discovered that even seemingly insignificant decisions create patterns that compound over time with terrifying efficiency. They tracked people who made slightly better food choices. Not perfect choices, not dramatic diet overhauls, just marginally better decisions, meal after meal. The result? An average of 11 pounds lost over 18 months. No conscious dieting, no willpower battles, just tiny upgrades stacking on top of each other until the compound effect became undeniable. Think about that. Every decision is a seed. You're planting 35,000 seeds every single day. The harvest is coming whether you plan for it or not. The only question is what you're growing: weeds or wealth, decay or dynasty. Here's why most people abandon compound growth before it ever pays off. The results stay invisible for way too long, and your brain absolutely cannot handle that. Behavioral psychology calls this the delayed return environment problem. Your brain evolved in an immediate return world. Hunt an animal, eat today. Find water, drink now. See threat, run immediately. The feedback loop was instant, action to result in seconds. But modern success operates on a completely different timeline. According to research from Stanford's Behavioral Design Lab, the delay between action and reward in career advancement averages between 3 and 7 years. In wealth building through investing, it's often decades. Your brain literally isn't built for this kind of patience. A study published in Psychological Science quantified this perfectly. Humans discount future rewards by approximately 50% for every year of delay. Your brain values $100 today as equivalent to $200 1 year from now. That's not rational. That's neurological sabotage. This is exactly why people choose the donut over the gym, the Netflix binge over the skill development, the scroll over the strategy session, the immediate comfort over the delayed compound benefit. Your primitive brain is literally fighting your future self, and it's winning, unless you learn to override it. Now, if you're getting value from this and want to go even deeper, consider joining the VYBO channel membership. Members get exclusive access to extended breakdowns like this one. Members get content that never hits the main channel. This is for the serious players who want to compound their growth faster. You're not just watching content, you're backing a movement. Click the join button below and help us keep delivering the strategies that matter. Now, let's continue breaking down the compound blueprint. There's a graveyard of abandoned goals that 92% of people contribute to every single year. According to research from the University of Scranton, the overwhelming majority of goal setters never achieve what they set out to do. But here's what researchers discovered. The failure isn't in the goals themselves. The failure is in misunderstanding the timeline of compound growth. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, which has now sold over 15 million copies worldwide, calls this the Valley of Disappointment. It's the brutal gap between where you expect to be based on linear thinking and where you actually are during the early stages of compound growth. In the beginning, your results look flat, completely flat. You're grinding, you're putting in work, but the needle isn't moving. This is where almost everyone quits. They look at the data, see no progress, and conclude that their efforts aren't working. They walk away. They find something else. They start over somewhere new. Same pattern, same quit point, the same mediocre results. But the mathematics tell a completely different story. Compound growth is exponential, not linear. Your brain expects a straight line, but reality delivers a hockey stick. The first year of 1% daily improvement takes you from 1 to 37. Year 2 takes you from 37 to nearly 1,400. Year 3, over 50,000. The curve is flat for what feels like forever. Then it goes vertical so fast it looks like a glitch in the matrix. Most people quit during the flat part. They never see the explosion that was just months away. They surrendered inches from the finish line. Don't be that person. Here's where the research gets really powerful. Small actions don't just compound external results. They compound something far more valuable: your identity. According to research published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, every action you take is essentially a vote for the type of person you want to become. Each time you write a page, you're casting a vote for being a writer. Each time you show up to train, you're casting a vote for being an athlete. Each time you study your craft, you're casting a vote for being a master. Each time you make the hard choice, you're casting a vote for being elite. And here's the strategic insight that changes everything. The data shows that identity change precedes behavior change, not the other way around. A study from Northwestern University found that people who adopted identity-based goals were significantly more likely to maintain new behaviors long-term, compared to those who focused purely on outcomes. The difference was massive. Identity-considered participants showed 42% better adherence after 12 months, almost half more likely to stick with it. That's not a marginal improvement. That's a dominant advantage. This means every small action you take carries double weight. It's compounding your external results while simultaneously compounding your internal identity. You're not just building better habits. You're building a better you. The person who shows up consistently becomes the person who deserves the results. That's not philosophy. That's neuroscience. Now, let's talk about what nobody wants to hear. Compound growth works both directions, and negative compounds are even more ruthless than positive ones. According to research from the Harvard School of Public Health, negative health behaviors compound with terrifying efficiency. One cigarette doesn't kill you, but the compound effect of daily smoking increases lung cancer risk by over 2,300% across a 20-year period. Financial data tells the same brutal story. Research from the Federal Reserve found that the average American who makes just one poor financial decision per week ends up with 47% less net worth after 20 years, compared to those who avoid such decisions. Nearly half their wealth evaporated. One small mistake at a time. Death by 1,000 cuts they never felt. Every compromise compounds. Every shortcut accumulates. Every time you take the easy path, you're not just making one decision. You're making thousands of future decisions simultaneously. You're programming your defaults. You're training your autopilot to fly you into the ground. The everything counts principle cuts both ways with equal precision. It's either working for you or against you, building your empire or demolishing it brick by brick. There is no neutral. There is no standing still. You're always moving in one direction or the other. Choose wisely. Here's what the evidence says about actually implementing compound thinking in your life. Stop obsessing over goals. Start building systems. Research from the London School of Economics tracked professionals over 5-year periods. Those who focused on systems rather than goals achieved 31% better outcomes. The mechanism is powerful. Goals are about the results you want to achieve. Systems are about the processes that reliably produce those results. Goals create a dangerous pass-fail binary. Either you hit the target or you didn't. Either you're winning or you're losing. That psychology is toxic for long-term compound growth. But systems? Systems create continuous progress. Every single day you run the system, you get a small win. Those small wins stack. They compound. They become undeniable. According to organizational psychology research, successful people and unsuccessful people often share the exact same goals. Everyone wants to win. Everyone wants wealth and freedom and impact. The difference is never in the destination. The difference is always in the systems. Winners design their environment, their routines, their defaults, so that the right behaviors become automatic. They don't rely on motivation. They don't wait for inspiration. They build machines that produce results whether they feel like it or not. Remember this: you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Build systems that compound, and the results become mathematically inevitable. One of the most powerful techniques backed by behavioral research is what scientists call the gateway habit principle. And it's devastatingly simple. A study from Stanford University's Behavior Design Lab found that habits lasting less than 2 minutes have a 73% higher adoption rate than habits requiring longer commitments. But here's the real insight. These micro-habits consistently catalyze much larger behavioral sequences. Want to exercise every day? Don't commit to an hour at the gym. Commit to putting on your workout shoes. That's it. Just the shoes. Research shows this tiny commitment dramatically increases the likelihood of completing the full workout. Why? Because you've already started. The hardest part is over. Momentum takes care of the rest. Want to read more? Don't commit to finishing books. Commit to reading one page before bed. According to data from Goodreads, readers who commit to just one page daily read an average of 23 books per year. Those who commit to chapters, only 6. The smaller commitment produces nearly 4 times the output. Counterintuitive. Undeniable. Making the habit smaller makes the results larger. Reducing friction increases output. Lowering the bar raises your performance. Because in the compound game, consistency annihilates intensity every single time. Show up small, but show up always. Your environment is either multiplying your compound growth or dividing it. There's no middle ground. Research from MIT's Sloan School of Management found that physical and social environment accounts for approximately 35% of behavioral variation. Let that sink in. Over 1/3 of what you do is directly controlled by your surroundings. Not your willpower, not your motivation, not your goals. Your environment. The spaces you occupy are programming you whether you realize it or not. Data from behavioral economics research gets even more specific. Making desired behaviors more convenient by just 20 seconds increases adoption by over 50%. Making undesired behaviors less convenient by 20 seconds decreases them by similar amounts. 20 seconds. That's the difference between success and failure for most habits. That's how thin the margin is. The elite don't rely on willpower. Willpower is a depletable resource. It runs out. They know this. So they vice their environment instead. They design their spaces so good decisions become effortless and bad decisions become inconvenient. They stack the deck in their favor before the game even starts. Put your running shoes by the door. Delete the apps that waste your time. Keep the healthy food at eye level. Remove the friction from your best behaviors. Add friction to your worst. Make the right choice the easy choice. Because when everything counts, you need everything working in your favor. You need every marginal gain you can find. Let me give you the tactical blueprint. Not theory, not philosophy. Execution. First, audit your defaults. For 1 week, track every automatic behavior. What are you doing without thinking? What habits are running in the background? This awareness alone creates change. According to behavior change research, simply tracking a behavior improves it by an average of 16%. Second, identify your 1% opportunities. Where in your daily routine could you make a tiny improvement? Not a dramatic overhaul, a marginal gain. Maybe it's reading for 10 minutes instead of scrolling. Maybe it's one extra set at the gym. Maybe it's one difficult conversation you've been avoiding. Find the small upgrade. Third, design your environment for automatic success. Remove one friction point from your best behaviors. Add one friction point to your worst behaviors. 20 seconds of inconvenience is all it takes to shift behavior patterns. Fourth, stack your habits. Research shows that linking new behaviors to existing routines increases adoption by over 40%. Don't just start a habit. Attach it to something you already do automatically. Anchor the new to the established. Fifth, measure and iterate. What gets measured gets managed. Track your compounds weekly. Celebrate the tiny wins. They're not tiny. They're the building blocks of empires. They're the seeds of dynasties. Treat them accordingly. Let me be direct with you. 1% daily compounds to 37 times better in 1 year. You're making 35,000 decisions every single day. And everything, absolutely everything, counts. The math doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your circumstances. It doesn't care whether you feel motivated. It only cares about your actions. Small, consistent, compounding, day after day after day. Your future self is being built right now, in this moment, by the defaults you're setting, by the habits you're forming, by the tiny actions you're taking when absolutely nobody is watching. 92% of people quit before the compound curve goes vertical. They walk away inches from the breakthrough. Don't be one of them. Stay in the game long enough to see the explosion. If this video showed you something you needed to see, hit like and subscribe. Share it with someone who's stuck, someone who's grinding but not seeing results yet, someone who needs to understand that the explosion is coming if they just stay in the game. Everything counts. Start acting like it. Your empire is waiting.